On Oldies 95.9 HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network for a sub-state championship basketball, part of the Next Tech Wireless Road to a Championship, presented by Rise Up Reno Prevention Network. Tonight, the 15-5 Buhler Crusaders face the 10-10 McPherson Bullpups for the third time this season. Hi, everyone. Aaron West alongside Chris Shank, Carson Muller inside Jim Baker Fieldhouse, where longtime rivals meet for a right to advance to the state tournament. Tonight's coverage streaming the Ad Astra Radio app and via YouTube on the Crusader Sports Network, powered by Next Tech Wireless, because you're mobile and need to stay connected. On Tuesday, Buhler defeated County foe Nickerson 66-53 in the sub-state finals. The Crusaders shot 44% from the field and were 21 of 31 from the free throw line en route to a second win over the Panthers this season. Nickerson kept pace most of the night, behind 18 points from Philemanga and 17 from Carson Lynn. Buhler's solid free throw shooting and a 19-11 scoring advantage in the fourth quarter sealed the victory. For the Crusaders, Jack Voth finished with 24 points, his 16th double-digit scoring game this season. The sophomore post went 7 of 14 from the field and 10 of 15 from the free throw line. Max Alexander and Tayton Hawkinson each added 18. Hawkinson set a new personal best, knocking down 5 3-point attempts, including 4 in the second quarter. And if you look, fellas, at the formula to winning on Tuesday, I think it's similar tonight in that they got contributions from multiple different players in the team. And just really loved the aggression of Jack Voth. He kind of set the tone early, got Nickerson out of their game plan, and I think Jack may be one of those keys tonight. I think he could have a similar performance against McPherson.
Well, Jack was just fantastic at getting Nickerson to foul him. You think about how that really changed the dynamic. When we played Nickerson the first go-around, Keaton Broomfield had a big night against the Crusaders. He got into such serious foul trouble, I don't even think he scored against us earlier this week. And you think about how that quantifies and links into this game. When we played McPherson the last time over in the Roundhouse, you know, Nickerson has the 2 big rim protectors. Both of those guys got into foul trouble. If Jack Voth can attack the rim like he did earlier in the week and get Nickerson in foul trouble, that really gets the Crusaders' path to victory a lot wider.
Yeah, look at some other things in the game. The offensive contributions, from Tayton Hawkinson. He had those 4 threes in the second quarter in a pivotal moment. And we've talked a lot this year about playing together as a team. It can't be isolation ball with Alexander and Voth when you get Hawkinson and Isaiah Hernandez involved. The path to victory gets a whole lot easier.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you look back at the last time the Crusaders played McPherson at the Roundhouse. We lose by 1. So go back and look at the numbers in that game. I believe we had 3 people score from that field, and that was it. Skripsik had a 2-point bucket, and everything else was Voth and Alexander. And as much as Coach Swanson loves to give those 2 the ball and say, go get us some points, others are going to have to step up. Isaiah Hernandez and Tayton Hawkinson are going to have to score to give the Crusaders a good chance. And I like, Chris, what you were saying, to drive in for Jack Voth. If we can get Gibbs in foul trouble, the game completely changes down low. Without their big rebounder in there, the Crusaders have a lot more options on offense and defense.
Well, here's a stat for you. Tayton Hawkinson scores in double figures. Buhler is 4-1 this year. When Isaiah Hernandez does, they're 6-0. And so I think those 2 are huge tonight.
Yeah, because you know that McPherson is going to do everything in their power to try to limit and mess with Max Alexander tonight. I mean, it is going to be psychological warfare. It's going to be just helps the Crusaders big time.
Yeah, for sure. You're going to see a lot of Gibbs pushing around Alexander, and then you're going to see Alexander on Alexander. Coach Kinnaman wants Jayton to get in Max's head. They're going to run a 2-1-2 half-court trap, and they're going to try to push Max, body him up, and tire him out so he can't make shots down in late seconds of the game.
Well, McPherson made it to the finals by virtue of a 59-25 win over Pratt on Tuesday. Senior Eli Pyle finished with 19 points for the Bullpups, who are now 11-10 on the season. The 10 losses marked the most in a season for McPherson since 2000-2001. Mac is 53-8 all-time against Buhler. 31 straight wins in the series. The Crusaders' last win came on February 18th of 1997, 70-59 at the Roundhouse. Buhler went 2-1 against Mac that year, including a 54-52 loss in the sub-state finals on March 8th. Tonight will mark the 17th meeting between the two in the postseason, and in that, Mac owns a 14-3 advantage. Crusader basketball brought to you in part by Fee Insurance by Jackson Meat, Dix Phillips 66 by Sunflower Electric Supply, and H&R Block. More of our pregame after this on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network. And welcome back inside Jim Baker Fieldhouse. Midway Motors, family owned and operated, dedicated to making our communities a better place to live. Visit one of their 6 locations throughout central Kansas. Midway Motors, for every mile of life. Well, is tonight the night the streak will end? 24 years. You go back to 24 years ago. I was a senior in high school. Bill Clinton was in the White House. Jewel and Puff Daddy had the big hits on the radio. Titanic was king at the box office. And Carson Moeller didn't exist yet.
Yeah, it was a long time. I mean, I was a sophomore, so I was even younger, and still playing basketball at that point. But no, I think about how much Buhler's changed since that point, and it was last century. So it's one of those things. I was kind of thinking on the drive over here as the sun was setting. I was like, I hope the sun sets on the streak tonight.
I think there's an opportunity for that to happen, Mac, even though they're 2-0, and they found a way in both games. Remember, Buhler had the big lead early in their first meeting. That was Buhler's first game of the year, and they ran out of gas in the second half. And then 51-50, Jack Voth, a heartbreaker, misses the layup and the 2 free throws at the end of the game to win it in Mac. This is a Mac team that is beatable, not typical 11-10. They've scored 54 or fewer points in 9 of their 10 losses this year. And we've seen them kind of go to this more methodical offense. They really like to run that half court. They don't have the big guy like Stuffle Bean inside, and so they're going to want to keep the score down. I told you the other day I think the magic number is 60. If Buhler can get into the 60s, I think their chances of winning increase dramatically.
Yeah, I mean, the Crusaders definitely are the team that has more opportunity to run. And if it is a run-and-gun game, that favors the Crusaders because we have multiple guards that can beat defenders down the floor and get to the rim and get those shots off and hit free throws. I tell you, that's one of the things that's this team being so dang good at shooting free throws, I'm hoping can be something that helps lift us to victory this evening.
Mac has shot the ball red hot against us, 56% in those 2 wins this year. That is atypical of how they've normally played this year. So you know they get up to play Buhler, plus 20. 10 on the board. I mentioned it in our start tonight. Jack Vogt has a big night. I think he can get their bigs in foul trouble. Maybe he comes in with a chip on his shoulder after missing that layup in Mac. I think he could be strong.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you think about if you've ever been to Buhler, been in school here, you know the name McPherson. Every time you hear it, you get a little bit of chills. You get ready to go. And so Jack growing up in this district, his mom's a teacher, he's known this, and so having an opportunity to say, hey, I did this for our team, we finally got him, and then not being able to accomplish it, he's the kid who went to practice, worked on it, and Aaron, like you said, this is a team that gets motivated by the name Buhler, just like Buhler does to Mac. You know, they only scored 31 points against an Augusta team, and so they come to play against McPherson, and something that involves all sports. You know, I've heard coaches from McPherson say they wake up each and every day saying, we're going to get better because we want to beat Buhler, and vice versa. It's starting to become more and more of a grudge match. As people grow up in the system, we start to get more minutes, and this place is already getting packed. Tickets are being already run out, so it's amazing to see this, and we're going to have one heck of an atmosphere tonight.
Well, 47 points, 7 times this season in their 21 games. Mac has scored 47 or fewer, so they've been human this year. Seems like Alexander and Madron, how are you going to stop those two?
Yeah, I was really impressed with, Madron when we played the last time. He's a kid that handles the ball really well and has a nice looking shot. And, and Alexander just is in that classic line of just being an athlete. There's been Alexanders as good athletes at McPherson since the dawn of time. And, he's a kid that obviously, like Carson talked about, playing his cousin tonight, has a little extra. And both those guys, they want to be able to go to their next family gathering and have the feather in their cap.
Well, the last one is the one you're going to talk about, so hopefully that is tonight. 3-point field goals this year. Mac plus 18, 17 of 35. They have shot the ball so well. Can Buhler limit the outside shooting and lockdown defense, take care of the ball? It's all those little intangibles in tight games that we talk about. You've got to come ready to play, not turn the ball over, not get in foul trouble. Which team can do that better? We'll see coming up at the end of tonight. Winner moves on to the state tournament quarterfinals next Monday. They will play the winner of Abilene and Concordia, and we'll keep you updated on that score throughout the night as well. And thanks, Lee, and we're back with more of our pregame in just a moment. And welcome back here as we get set for game time coming up. From the Allen Samuels broadcast booth, the Rise Up Reno Prevention Network helps promote healthy behaviors through youth leadership, school-based mentoring, and community investment online at riseupreno.org. 8 4A championship games around the state to determine the 8 state qualifiers for next week. Of course, Mac here at Buhler tonight, Concordia at Abilene, Andale at Augusta, Clearwater at Rose Hill, Tonganoxie at Bishop Miege, Holton at Wamego, Iola at Lewisburg, and Parsons at Chanute. Those are the 8 sub-state finals around the state tonight. Only one of those teams is not a number 1 or number 2 seed. That would be Clearwater, who knocked off Mulvane, a big upset on Tuesday. And the Fighting Indians are in Rose Hill tonight. Of course, Buhler on the opposite side of the Abilene-Concordia sub-state. And those two winners will meet in the state quarterfinals on Monday. And if Buhler wins, that game will be here in Jim Baker Fieldhouse. Our Crusader Pep Band will have tonight's national anthem, plus the starting lineups next on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
This time, ladies and gentlemen, we'll ask you to please stand as the Buhler High School Pep Band will lead us in the playing of our national anthem. Please stand.
The Buhler High School Pep Band under the direction of Miss Amy Krause with tonight's national anthem. Let's meet our HCU Investment and Insurance Services starting lineups. Located inside Heartland Credit Union at 23rd and Severance. Call Monty Cross at 669-0177. The 6th-ranked MAC Bullpups at 11-10 on the season. Head coach Kurt Kenneman in his 26th season. A 6-foot senior, number 5, Eli Pyle. He had 19 for MAC in their opening sub-state win against Pratt on Tuesday. A 6-foot junior, number 11, Jaden Dukes. A 6'1" junior, number 21, Sat Madron. Madron has had 15 points in both games against Buhler this season. A 5'9" senior, number 25. He has been a Crusader killer. Jaden Alexander, 21 points in game 1, 19 in game 2, 9 of 11 from the three-point line. And a 6'4" junior, number 45, Darian Gibbs. Pyle, Dukes, Madron, Alexander, and Gibbs for the MAC Bullpups, who averaged 54 points a game. For the 7th-ranked Buhler Crusaders, 15-5 into the year under 6-year head coach Ryan Swanson. At one guard, a 6-foot senior, number 1, Max Alexander. Max Alex averaging 25 points and 6 rebounds a game, 2 double-doubles this year. Another guard, a 6-foot senior, number 13, Taden Hawkinson, averaging 17 points on the season. He had those 5 threes, a career high 18 points on Tuesday. A 5'10 junior, another guard of number 14, Isaiah Hernandez, averaging 7 points and 3 assists. In the post at forward, a 6'2 senior, number 10, Reed Scott, averaging 3 points and 4 boards. And a 6'4" sophomore, number 34, Jack Voth, JV with 24 points on Tuesday, 14 points, 6 rebounds a game. Alexander, Scott, Hawkinson, Hernandez, and both for Buhler. Crusaders averaging 58 points a game. They'll be in their home whites, maroon and black trim, maroon lettering. Crusader basketball here on KWHK Hutchinson and the Crusader Sports Network. Mack in that patented motion offense. Buhler sets up in a man with Pyle guarded by Hernandez. And Pyle's right-handed floater at the free throw line is good, and Mack leads. So they play Max off the ball. Gibbs out high guarding Hawkinson, and a turnover. Boy, got to take care of
There by Isaiah.
And here comes Voth the other way inside. Quickly score it with the left.
Good to see Jack attacking that rim, picking up right where he left off against Nickerson.
2-2, 6:59 to play in the first. Adrian out high for the Pups. Guarded by Max Alexander. Out high is Dukes. Near side, Alexander. Alexander slides in the lane. Floater with the right is good. But there's something about Buhler, as Carson talked about in our pregame, that Dayton Alexander steps up his game.
Yeah, Mac right now 2 of 3 from the field.
Crusaders the other way. Max Alexander guarded by his cousin, near side circle, driving through traffic, and a whistle and a foul.
Yeah, they want to limit the penetration the Crusaders can get, and they bring big Gibbs out, try to lengthen how far he can cover, and so.
Bounce from Reed Scott. Isaiah driving through traffic, floats it up top to Jack. Jack with a jump stop in the lane, good.
Great to see Jack.
The other way, inside, missed. Rebound Hawkinson. Boy, Hawkinson had Gibbs all over him.
Yeah, and watch down here, guys, the bodying up that Mac is doing. Their guards are just hip checking the heck out of our guys on the perimeter.
Here's Max inside with a drive. The floater missed. Almost a goaltending there as Madron went up high to get it. Buhler going to the well early. That is good to see. Mac, part of what has kept them in games. They've been in a lot of tight games. They've only been in 3 double-digit losses this year. Big reason for that is their defense.
Yeah. Well-coached team. The Kinnaman brothers are guys that really emphasize defense.
Here's Dukes out high. He'll drive into the body of Max, up off the window, missed, and Alexander for Buhler will pull down the rebound.
Good to see Max getting his boarding going.
4-4 game. Isaiah the other way, slides it right corner. Hawkinson inside, and it goes off his leg out of bounds. Here comes Skripsikin, the 6th man for the Crusaders. The 6'3 senior will replace Reed Scott. Darian Gibbs will go out for McPherson, replaced by 6'3 sophomore Mason Miller.
And we talked about Mason last time. Can't miss him with his headwear.
Yes. Fashionable. There's a lob inside. Madron out of position. Couldn't catch it and score. Back to Dukes. Now inside Miller. Ball knocked loose. What a hustle play by Hawkinson. Saved out on the wing by Dukes.
Can you tell these teams are laying it all on the line tonight, fellas?
And a 3 by Madron right side. No good. Rebound. That's got to be over the back on Miller. They're going to call it out of bounds. It'll be a Buhler ball.
Well, they are definitely letting him play tonight. There is no doubt about that.
Adam Elliott, 6-foot junior, did not score in the February meeting with the Crusaders. He got 6 points back in December. 4-4 game, 4:30 to play here in the first quarter. Jack Voth with both buckets for the Crusaders. Here's Zay Hernandez off to Voth, left side circle. Mack in their man. Jack driving inside against Miller, and they're going to call the charge.
Yeah, Mason Miller has feet set up. And as soon as both made contact with him, he just flopped on the ground and gets the first foul of the evening on Buhler.
Hey, don't let that deter him. He's got to continue
got
to
to
go
continue
strong
attacking that rim.
to the rim. Here's Mack the other way, across the timeline. We'll keep you updated. We mentioned Abilene, Concordia, other scores in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard tonight. Your hometown dentist in downtown Buhler. Here's Elliott off near side circle to Alvord. Hunter Alvord, a 5'11" sophomore. Alvord inside Miller, and layup good.
Well, you called him out, Aaron. You mentioned how he didn't score the last time we played, and Alvord got the ball high down low and took it in and scored.
And Buhler called for traveling the other way. Mack up 6-4. This is the type of game, low scoring, that Mack wants to play.
Yeah, for sure. Trying to make Buhler make mental errors. They're going to have to persevere through this. In the timeout game, when timeouts are called, is going to be very vital.
Yeah, that timeout, of course, that Coach Kinnaman called in the first game back in December really is what swung that entire trajectory of the game.
Mack up 2 with the ball to our right, as Alvord has it near side circle. Into Miller, guarded by Skripczyk. And Miller missed. Rebound underneath, knocked out of the hands of Elliott. Good defense by Taden Hawkinson. Ball taken by the Crusaders. Here's Zay Hernandez with a jump stop, and it missed. Rebound tapped about, taken by the Pups.
Yeah, Buhler being limited to a lot of one-shot possessions so far this evening.
Zay had a frustrating night from the field as a 3 missed by Madron. Rebound, and Max is going to run the floor quickly. Dishes off to Zay for 3. It's there.
Good to see Hernandez get involved in that scoring early.
He was just 1 of 6 from the field on Tuesday, but knocks down the tray, and Buhler leads it by 1, 7-6. 2:42 to play in the first. McPherson trails the other way for the first time, and a 3 is good by Hunter Alvord.
So both teams have back-to-back possessions with the first trays of the night.
9-7 McPherson. Here's Max, and he lost it out of bounds. Substitutions, Pyle and Dukes return for McPherson, as Elliott and Jayton Alexander will come off the floor. That is a third Buhler turnover. Reed Scott back in. Hayden Keller will appear for the first time, the 6-foot junior. So Keller, Skripczyk, Alexander, Scott, and Hernandez.
Well, one of the things to keep an eye on, I don't know if you guys are noticing, but McPherson is running guys through a lot quicker. They're rotating a lot more freer than Buhler here early on.
Well, we've noticed in the previous games this year, they do not mind fouling. They will throw lots of bodies at you. Here is Madrid. Back up 2 inside, and a steal with a bad pass. Picked off by Hayden Keller. Well, then Keller nearly threw it away. Saved by Max Alexander. That might have been a foul by
Madron.
Madron.
Madron was all in Max's face, bodied him up, no call.
Here's Reed Scott out front for the
look
Crusaders.
at him just putting a hand. Max doesn't even have the ball, and Madron's just got his hand on him, nonstop on the perimeter.
Well, refs letting them play. Here's Zay. There's another foul that's not called. Out front to Reed. Reed Scott will pull up at the foul line and drop it in.
That was a beautiful looking soft touch shot there, Carson.
For sure, Reed found his spot and knocked down the shot.
9-9 game. Boy, both our guards, Hernandez and Alexander, just getting smothered.
It is hand check city, fellas.
Inside, ball knocked away. A deflection underneath, out of bounds off. I think it's going to stay with Mack, as Jack Voth will return for Buhler. Skripczyk out. Jayton Alexander replacing Hunter Alvord for McPherson.
Well, Buhler got some really good minutes out of Braden Skripczyk there. He was doing a great job when Mason Miller was in there banging away.
Taden Hawkinson also in. And Isaiah Hernandez out. Live tonight from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth, where they're dedicated to finding you the make and model that best suits your lifestyle and budget. Online at AllenSamuelsHutch.com. Jayton Alexander to play it in with 1:16 to go in the first. 3 ball, left side short by Eli Pyle. Rebound, Jack Voth.
Jack went way upstairs to haul that one down.
Taden Hawkinson, right to left across the timeline the other way. Plays it to Reed. Foul line jumper. He's 2 for 2.
Reed has found his spot. Man, he looks great there. so much confidence, and what is so good to see, guys, so many people getting involved in the scoring here early on.
Buhler with its largest lead of 2, 51 seconds to go in the quarter.
Over the back.
Yes, and over the back foul. Madron missed the putback. Now Miller inside, and he'll miss the shot. Somebody call a foul. Finally, Alexander with a rebound. My goodness, the contact.
It is looks like a
physical.
Looks like a West Virginia game here, fellas. I think Huggy Bear snuck over to the McPherson sideline tonight.
Buhler's got the ball back with 30 seconds to go and a 2-point lead. They'll have the clock to start the second. Here's Alexander fouled, and that is going to be the second on his cousin Jayton, who is giving it to the ref. Hey, I didn't foul. Alexander with a pull-up. That's just smart as an offensive player. You got a team that's being physical. Use that against them. Get into the body on your shot. Try and get that call and get to the line. That is where Buhler's been so good this year. And Mac's first free throw missed. Adam Elliott and Darian Gibb return for McPherson, as Miller and Alexander might have to sit for a while with those 2 fouls. Max hasn't scored yet, missed his first free throw. He's 85% on the year. And the second for the senior is good. He's going to come out of the game and get a 20-second breather here. And the sophomore Grant Ricker will come in, scripts again, and out goes Jack Voth.
Yep, so coach doing some smart stuff, just getting some of the starters a little puff here as the quarter break comes on. So hopefully the Crusader defense can lock him down. Buhler
with its largest lead of 3. They lead 12-9 with 21 seconds to go in the quarter. Here is Madron. They play it off to Duke's left side circle, guarded by Ricker. Pyle in the right corner for 3. That's short. Rebound tapped out of bounds, and they're going to call it off Reed Scott with 1.1 on the clock. Watch the lob play at the rim here.
Yeah, they are going to try to. They got Darian Gibbs at the top of the key. Watch him come just plowing down the lane and then try to put it in high.
Watch Madron. Gotta watch out Madron. Here it is.
Madron can jump. Elliott for 3 at the buzzer is strong, and that'll get us to the end of the first. Buhler with its largest lead of 3 after the first 8-minute quarter. 12-9 Crusader basketball on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network. I mentioned the magic number being 60. That equates out to 15-point quarters. I think 12 points, good start.
No doubt.
Max at the elbow, jumper missed. And a rebound for Mac. Buhler with 5 of 7 from the field in that first quarter. Good shooting, 3 of 6 for Mac. And Buhler hit their only 3-point try as Mac's going to turn the ball over for a third right corner. But
well, can't you just feel us offensively just kind of settling down a little bit?
Scott Voth, Hernandez, Hawkinson, and Alexander, the 5 starters out there. We've got a collision in the lane, and I think an offensive foul.
No, it's going to be on Madron.
Or a foul on Madron in the lane?
Yeah, Madron knocked Max to the ground. Glad they called it because they are hand-checking, pushing, shoving.
That'll be the first on Madron, 4th team foul. Buhler to play it in under their own basket, and an easy layup for Jack Voth. Nobody picked up Voth on the inbound, and he's got 6.
Well, the fastest way for Jack to forget that last game against McPherson is to have a big night tonight, and he's on his way to do that.
Buhler largest lead of 5 now, 7:18 to go in the second. Here is Madron, right side circle. Out there with Gibbs, Pyle, Alexander, and Trey Buckby, the 6'3 junior. Floater. Pyle's got the best pure shot on the team. He's got 14 points, 14-11. Max the other way, pull up missed. Rebound McPherson.
Yeah, Max got dusted up again. No call this time.
Here comes Jayden Alexander into the lane and a hard take against Jack. Missed the shot, might have traveled. Ball taken by Hawkinson. Off to Zay Hernandez. Well, good to see Zay okay after he rolled that ankle. He's still got it heavily taped from Tuesday.
And he's got his neon shoes tonight.
He does, not the cotton candy pinks. Here's Max working it right baseline.
Look at
tired.
Boy, Madron just all over him. And what do we got?
Oh, they're going to stop the play because Max's shoe came off. Carson caught that blown tire there.
Well, you know, we've talked all year about how teams have been so physical. With Max, you go back to the Nickerson game at times, they would put, if Max had the ball, they would put 3 guys on him to try and stop him.
Yeah, Madron, if you watch him, I mean, he is just putting his belt right on Max and riding him wherever he goes.
There's Hawkinson with the ball out high. Taden against Gibbs. And Gibbs picked him off, and then a reach-in foul on Hawkinson.
That's Taden's first. It's one of those deals where Gibbs got the ball down below his feet and Hawkinson was behind him, and anytime you wrap up a guy from behind, it's going to get the foul call.
Taden's going to come out of the ballgame, replaced by Hayden Keller. 6:04 to go in the second quarter. Crusader basketball brought to you by Midwest Iron and Metal, by Wade Patton Insurance, The Medicine Shop, by Apex Shears, and by Ray & Sons Roofing. Here's Alexander right side, off to Gibbs at the elbow. Gives up to Dukes in the lane. Out front to Pyle. Pyle, far side, Alexander. He'll pull up against his cousin. Shot falls, and it's a 1-point game. Second bucket by Jayden Alexander, 14-13.
What a dish by Zay.
Here's a shot baseline, missed by Keller. Rebound, Mack, and the Pups on a 4-0 run here can retake the lead. Here's Alexander in the lane. Right side to Jaden Dukes. Dukes on a crossover, cut off by Max Alexander. Far side, Buckby. Boy, they're daring Buckby to take that shot from the outside.
They're giving him all sorts of separation. Now, moving screen's going to get called on Jaden Dukes.
That'll be a fourth, make it 5th turnover on McPherson. Dukes with his first personal foul. Scripps again. And Reed Scott out with 5:08 to play in the first. Our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard after one. Abilene leading Concordia 15-6. Remember, Buhler beat Abilene in the sub-state final here in Jim Baker last year to go to state. Nice pass in. Hernandez to Alexander. Missed the layup, but a foul. And that'll put Max Alex back at the line for 2. Buhler on the year has been really good. 75%. In 2 games previous this year against McPherson, they are plus 18 at the free throw line, and that goes a long way toward a win.
Yeah, I mean, the free throw shooting has been outstanding, and that is something that is so valuable in these type of games.
Max hits the first here early. Jack Voth with 6. Reed Scott with 4. And for the Crusaders, Pyle and Jayden Alexander each have 4 for McPherson. Alexander will shoot one more. Clock stopped with 4:59 to play in the quarter. He knocks them both down. 3 of 4. Buhler by 3, 16-13. 4:55 left here before halftime. Jayden Alexander, and there's a reach-in foul on Isaiah Hernandez. You know, the interesting thing, Hernandez isn't doing anything that Mack isn't doing defensively to Buhler. Just that little wraparound reach-in.
Yeah, Coach Kinnaman after that last foul call on Buhler, though, was just livid. And never underestimate his ability to dictate calls.
Boy, ball nearly stolen away. Saved by Mack. Jayden Alexander's got it out high near the timeline. He'll be picked up by Isaiah Hernandez. 16-13. Buhler by 3. Jayden drives, lost the ball, and they're going to call a foul in the lane.
And that was a called play as all the Mack offensive players just cleared out.
That'll be the second on Isaiah Hernandez. Good news is Zay is one of those guys that can play with fouls and not pick up another.
Well, and that's because he's so quick and he's so smart. That kid has such a good basketball IQ.
Jayden Alexander hits the first at the line. Alexander just 3 of 7 at the free throw line in 2 games this year against Buhler. Remember, he missed some free throws that would have iced the game for McPherson in the fourth quarter. back in the field house in February
Yeah.
in the roundhouse. Of course, 2 ridiculous threes from Max Alexander there in that fourth quarter. And Jayton makes them both. He's got 6 points. A 1-point game, 16-15. 4:28 left here in the second quarter of play. Isaiah Hernandez across the timeline. Off to Jack Voth. Voth's got a size advantage there against Alver. Reed Scott at the right elbow. Near side circle to Alexander. Alexander drives inside, kicks to Zay. And they're going to call what? The
Scoreboard just went out.
Scoreboard just went out.
Well, we're having some technical issues. We were having trouble with the PA system here. And
now the scoreboard has quit working. Well, the good news is that Zay Hernandez 3 was short. So we'll get to retain possession, but we have no idea how much time is left in the game. Now it's back on.
Let there be light.
Yeah, Mr. Schmidt's microphone is not working.
Mr. Schmidt just said he didn't touch anything. He wanted to make sure everyone out there listening knows he's not responsible for the scoreboard issues.
Lots of games across our Ad Astra Sports Network tonight in the Next Tech Wireless Road to a Championship presented by Rise Up Reno. Already Haven has won over Lions, so Haven will be playing for a sub-state final tomorrow night. And Central Christian knocked off by South Haven, the Cardinals, out of the South Central Kansas Border League.
Your old hometown, boyhood home of Aaron West.
Almost to Oklahoma. Here's Voth inside. Alvord with a near steal, saved by Jack against Miller.
And what?
Score it and one. I tell you what, Jack Voth is going to win that matchup every time.
Well, and Jack was so smart. He caught it down low. He waited till the McPherson defender went airborne, and then he just went up the instant he went up to get the foul call. And Jack is so strong. You can bang away at him all day long, and he still has that strength to finish at the rim.
Both in and out on the free throw. He missed. And a rebound for Mack, 18-15. Miller with his first personal foul, 6 team fouls. Buhler again by 3, 4 minutes to go in the quarter. Here's Madron, right side. Cut off. Good defense. Pile for 3. Long rebound, Alexander. Well, Mack has been human from the field so far tonight. That is good.
Yeah, they started off 2 for 3 from the field, but they've really cooled off since that point.
Here's Zay Hernandez working at left baseline inside. Shot missed. Rebound, Reed Scott. Out to Hawkinson. Hawkinson, little slide pass in the lane to Reed. Missed the shot, but another foul. And this time they'll call it, I believe, on Eli Pyle.
Yeah, great job by Reed Scott. I mean, Reed having this big night inside has been really big because kind of one of the hallmarks of a Kinnaman coach defense, they love to put their rim protector. You manned up on somebody, but just basically just camp them out right in front of the lane. So if Reed can have a night offensively, that helps us immensely.
Reed 11 of 19 at the year at the stripe, missing the first. As Adam Elliott and Darian Gibbs will return. Well, that has been one of the issues this year for Coach Kinnaman. He doesn't have Cody Stufflebean roaming the inside anymore, and they've kind of had to rotate through some different bigs, trying to find that right chemistry. Reed Scott misses 2 at the line. And a rebound for Darian Gibbs. Jayden Alexander, his team down 3 with the ball to Elliott for 3, left side. That's strong. Rebound, Zay Hernandez. 18-15, Buhler by 3 with the ball. 3:12 to go in the quarter. Here's Max driving inside, gets to the bucket.
Oh, and
the ball got stuck. So what happened there? Did Mack tip it back up and in? And Coach Kinnaman's like, Coach Kinnaman is angry.
Well, see, I do know this rule, fellas. If the ball gets stuck, it's supposed to be a jump ball. Well, it was stuck. They didn't call anything, and then it fell into the hands, I believe, of a Crusader, or was it a pup?
It was Reed Scott. Reed was camped out underneath there, and that ball just slowly started rolling, no stoppage of play, and got the easy layup. And Coach Kinnaman called that timeout, and he immediately went to both officials trying to labor for the jump ball call, which would have went to the alternate possession arrow, which would have headed Mac's way.
All right, so who are we giving that basket to?
Reed Scott.
Reed Scott. I couldn't see through the defenders, but because I had a bunch of bodies in the way, but Coach Kinnaman is so hot, fellas. He's sweating through his shirt. He is hot mentally and physically right now.
It is warm in here.
It is.
And, hey, if you're not going to stop play.
All's fair in love and war, gentlemen.
20-15, Buhler by 5, their largest lead. Now a steal by Reed Scott. Here comes Max the other way. Ball got stuck between the rim and the backboard, and Buhler was able to tip it in. Here's Jack inside. Alexander with a near steal.
They're going to get Scott for the foul, and that's the thing. After a situation like that, they're going to do something to try to placate Coach Kinnaman.
Reed Scott going for a hustle play on a loose ball, and they're going to call him for his first foul. Buhler 20, Mac 15, 2:38 to play in the first. Here at the West, Crochet, Carson Muller with you, courtside at Jim Baker. It's good to have some atmosphere back in here. Here is Seth Madron.
Can you imagine what this place would be like if we didn't have capacity limitations?
Yeah, Madron missed the shot. Rebound Jack Voth, and he's going to be fouled. Well, you remember the first time these two played back in December, there was nobody in here.
Yeah. It was very limited, but that's big to get Darian Gibbs in foul trouble. That's just his first, but he's a guy that, if you remember, when he got into foul trouble in our last game at the Roundhouse and was out of the game, that's when the lane really opened up for the Crusaders in that third and fourth quarter.
So here's Jack Voth again at the line where he's 0 of 1. He shoots 65% on the year. He had those big 24 points against Nickerson. Was our player of the game on Tuesday and knocks down the first free throw here for his 7th point.
Well, you were talking about Jack Voth growing up in the Buhler system. Both of his parents, of course, Buhler alums. His dad played for Buhler High, so there's a little bit of wanting to beat Mac in that family.
A little bit of gamesmanship going on with Gibbs and Scott right there.
Yep.
Double-figure score for Jack in 16 of 20 games this year, and he knocks down 2 free throws, and Buhler leads by 7.
I just noticed what you're talking about, Carson. Looked like what happens in like a first grade game where the guys start just putting hands on each other on the sides during a free throw.
Here's Gibbs inside with a right, short rebound. That's over the back, but the rebound saved by Tatum. Well, he's had visions. Remember what happened in the last 90 seconds of the game back here in December? We were up like, I don't know, a couple of possessions, and then all of a sudden, Mac went crazy. Hawkinson inside, missed. Rebound tapped out into the corner. Taken by Seth Madron. Back the other way, down 7. Here's Jaden Dukes, right side circle. Driving on Hawkinson.
Great hustle by Hawkinson on the
Off
switch.
the pile, up top to Jayden Alexander. Spin move in the lane, missed the bank shot. Rebound Max Alexander.
Mac really struggling shooting from the field here in this first half.
Max with it, he'll drive, kicks to Reed, 15-footer. Reed Scott having a first half, has 7 points.
I've got Reed as 8, but irregardless, he's having a whale of a game.
You know,
and now Voth just got plowed.
And a charge taken by Jack Voth.
Seth Madron just lowered the boom, and Voth doing what he's done all season long.
That'll be his 14th. You know what? That the ball that got stuck at the rim that we credited Reed Scott, I may not have written down that basket.
Okay, there you go. But
how many do you have Reader for?
8.
Yeah, that's what I did. I didn't remember.
Yes.
We got so off track talking about how that should have been a jump ball. I forgot to write the bucket down. So Buhler leads it by 9, 24-15, 57.8 seconds to play in the first half. And here is Jack Voth out high. Off to Max Alexander. Just 15 first half points for Mac. Max
How is
inside.
that not a foul?
Missed the shot. Rebound Jack. Put back, and there's the foul. And that's going to put Jack Voth back at the free throw line. Boy, Voth, he got walloped in the jaw that time.
Well, it looks like a Brooklyn backyard brawl in there. I mean, it is just hacking. I mean,
we need our center in the game.
Who's that?
Right. Foul on Trey Buckby will be his first. And Jack at the line missed the free throw off the back iron. Hayden Keller is going to replace Zay Hernandez in the game for Buhler. Adam Elliott in, and Jaden Dukes out for McPherson.
Well, you know why Adam Elliott's out there. He's one of their three-point shooting specialists.
And Jack gets a second at the line. He's now 3 of 5. Braden Skripczyk in and Jack both out in a 10-point game. 25-15, 41.5 to go.
Coach Kinnaman hotter than a $5 pistol.
I would not want to be in the MAC locker room at halftime.
Not going to be very peaceful.
Adam Elliott off to Jayden Alexander, far side. Guarded by his cousin Max. He drives, stuck at the left elbow. Off to Buckby. 21 seconds to go, and now Mac will hold for a final shot in this first half. Play Max knocked the ball away. It's loose on the deck. Loose again. And
They got to call a jump.
They got to call a jump ball there. And it's going to be
The way of the Bullpup.
McPherson ball. But 8.7 now on the clock. What an effort by Max Alexander. Well, really, for that matter, Jayden Alexander, too.
Yeah. I tell you, the intensity of this game, so much fun to get to watch.
7 seconds. Here comes Jayden. And he'll step into a 3 at the buzzer, and he banked it in.
That's his first tray of the night, and that's how we're going to go to the locker room.
25-18. It'll be a 7-point game at halftime. Buhler with its largest lead of 10 in the first half, 25-15. Mac led early on a couple of occasions by 2. Their largest lead 3 different times at 2 points. 25-18 at the half. Crusader basketball brought to you by the Rise Up Reno Prevention Network, by the Pregame of Kansas, by Wifco Steel Products, by Erickson Custom Building, and by HCU Investment and Insurance Services. Our halftime is next here from Buhler on HKFM of the Crusader Sports Network. And welcome back here, our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. Aaron West as Buhler leads it 25-18. Excited with Adria Hewitt today. She's just talking about adjusting to all the changes of COVID this year.
Man.
And, you know, I think in any sport you kind of get in a rhythm and a used to a way of doing things. And you guys really kind of had to alter that quite a bit this year.
It was unbelievable. It was a year of ups and downs, Aaron. It was just crazy. For the first time probably in about 10 years, our girls didn't win the league title, and our boys were riding that high. We go to regionals. They lose the regional berth to go to state by 1 pin. I've never had that in any of the teams I've coached in my years. I can't be more proud of the guys and the seniors, Aaron Burkamp and Malachi Fabian. Those guys just really stepped up this year, and I just so proud of them. And the girls were the girls. Adria Hewitt took 15th at state yesterday, just throwing the ball so good. Mallory Cross, that girl's just come a ton in 1 year. So we're excited about next year. We got something to build on. A lot of young talent came in this year, and so I'm excited about next year. I'm always excited, though. You know that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's good to see some youth in the program and some possibility there for the future. Yeah, and any other year that wasn't a COVID year, you would have taken your whole team.
We would have. Yeah, it was a really strange regional. They had 7 regionals. They took the number 1 team, the 7 teams that won the region, then the top 3 second-place teams. And we were the 4th out of the 3rd, and we lost the regional by 1 again.
You know, Adria brought something else up. She said that, there were a lot of meets you would go to. You'd have a morning and an afternoon session.
We did, yeah. We didn't bowl with anybody. We bowled in our own bubble on our pair, and the kids didn't enjoy that because we didn't have a chance to meet other teams from the other schools and really see the talent that was out there. And so I can't wait till we get back to some normality.
And how does that, if they don't re-oil the lanes between sessions, how does that affect
it? It did. It's kind of the luck of the draw. If you bowled early, you got fresh oil, and it was the shot stayed consistent. Most of the tournaments they tried if they had time to rerun the lanes for them, but there was a couple that we went to that they did not. And so it really wasn't the same condition that the other teams bowled on. And so, again, it's like we've been saying, we look at each other and we say, it's COVID.
Yeah.
What
are you going to do?
Yeah,
well, really cool for Adria and Mallory
yes.
and for
and Trenton
Sheridan.
That young man, I'll tell you, it's another kid, averaged 220 all season. He goes to the state tournament and has his lowest series. So there's that ups and downs. It was a year of ups and downs.
Yeah, absolutely. But you talked about the promise. You got a lot of kids coming back there.
We do, yeah. We're going to lose some seniors, but we'll pick up some next year that'll be back. That will be back in school that we will get. So I think the boys will be okay. We do need if there's some girls out there in 8th and 9th grade and they want to learn to bowl and they want to be a part of a championship program, they need to come out next year.
Well, I know this little Skip Wilson magic. He can get you to bowl.
Bowling
if you'll come,
whisperer. There you go.
If you'll come out, he can get you to bowl.
I can.
It's pretty amazing. Well, I know your day job, of course, you run the Boys and Girls Club here in Hutch, and you guys have kind of gotten back to normal a little bit with kids going back to school and able to kind of get back in your niche and really focus on afternoon after-school care.
We have. We're so grateful that we're back operating after school, and I think the kids are grateful. We see them, they come through the doors, and I can see smiles underneath those masks. I know they're smiling, and we just see them. They want to run up, and they just want to hug our vision leaders, and, we got to, hey, slow down, wait a minute, but it's just great to have them back, and I know my vision leaders are so excited to see them every day.
All right, buddy, well, we appreciate you.
Thank you. Yes, we'll see you. We'll talk again next year. It'll be a little different.
Yeah, we'll talk some this summer and talk some golf and some fun stuff.
We will talk some golf.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thanks, Aaron.
Skip Wilson, our head bowling coach, here at halftime, 25-18. More after this on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network. 25-18 at the half. Just real quickly, our first half numbers brought to you by Adams Brown Strategic Allies and CPAs, proudly serving businesses in Kansas for the past 70 years. Online at adamsbrownCPA.com. Buhler 9 of 16 from the field. Mack 7 of 25. Mack just 2 of 10 from the outside. Jayden Alexander with 9. He had that 3 right there at the end of the first half. Mason Miller with 2. Hunter Alvord with 2. Eli Pyle with 4. Reed Scott with 10 for Buhler. Max Alexander with 3. Isaiah Hernandez with 3. And Jack Voth with 9. 25-18, second half next on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network. Well, it'll be Buhler ball to start the second half here. Crusaders up 7, 25-18, and a quick turnover to start the second half. Boy, Buhler just 3 turnovers in the first half. They don't have to do anything fancy. If they just duplicate the second half or the first half, it'll be okay.
Yeah, just grind out on offensive possessions. Buhler's only shot the 1-3. The make by Hernandez, just keep taking it strong to the rim and playing good D.
Did Mack get better from the field? Here's Madron with a turnaround and score it. You go back to the 3 to end the first half. That's a 7-0 Mack run, 25-22. That's what you've got to avoid.
Yep, because you know that Mack in the locker room at halftime, they're pulling out all the stops. Look at that. Wow, they're going to call 5 count. Jaden Dukes had his hand right on Zay's hip that entire time.
So Buhler has turned the ball over 3 times in 3 possessions to start the third quarter. And the lead is down to 3, 25-22. Back to our left here in the second half. Jaden Dukes down low to Gibbs. Back out to Dukes. What adjustments did both teams make at halftime? Here's Alexander off to Dukes. Out front to Madron. Madron with 2 quick buckets here in the second half after not scoring in the first half. Here's Dukes inside, cut off. Off to Madron, near side circle. Out front to Jayden Alexander. Boy, the offense really deliberate here for McPherson. Madron inside, missed. Gets his own rebound. The putback, missed. Rebound Max. And boy, that might have should have been a foul on Gibbs.
And Gibbs knocked him down, no call. 5th board of the night for Max Alexander. He leads the Crusaders on the glass.
Here by 3, Max Alexander across the timeline, left to right. He'll drive it, pull up in the lane, is perfect. First field goal tonight for Alexander.
That's what I was going to say. If you were going to tell us that we were going to have a lead in the second half and Max hadn't made a field goal, I would have taken it.
Buhler by 5, Mack the other way. Eli Pyle shoots the jumper and it swishes through at the free throw line.
Well, the shooter's starting to warm up. But good to see Buhler finally settle down after those empty possessions to begin the quarter. Good to see Max be that calming factor.
Here's Jack with a hard take inside, missed it, gets his own rebound, putback, missed it. Rebound and a foul. Boy, that was a hard foul inside.
Yeah, Gibbs was just clanging and banging away at Jack. Eventually, keep going to the well, you're going to hit water as Jack got a couple offensive boards there. We're finally getting fouled.
How big do you think free throws are going to be here in the second half? Jack first at the line is good.
Well, free throws.
So Gibbs out with 2 fouls. Mason Miller back in.
And that was a big reason the Crusaders were able to rally at the Roundhouse. Both Gibbs and Miller were in foul trouble here in the third quarter last go-round.
1 of 2 at the line for Jack Voth, 28-24. Buhler by 4. 5:30 to play here in the third. Jaden Dukes, left side circle, rifles it to the right to Seth Madron. Madron out front to Dukes. Cut off in the lane by Max Alexander. Buhler in their man. Dukes has it right side circle. A drive. And they're going to get Max with a blocking foul as Jayton Dukes is working the ball toward the right baseline. Adam Elliott returns. Jayden Dukes out for McPherson. 5:11 to go here in the third. 28-24.
Tatum, help on 21. Help. Force him this way.
Here's Jayden Alexander. They try the lob play. Doesn't work. Miller gets tied up in the lane with Reed Scott. And it'll be Mac Ball. That is the second time in the game they've tried the lob play into Madron. It hasn't worked either time.
You can see Madron just snaking his way down the near edge of the lane.
Buhler doing a good job with a hard take inside, fouled on the shot. And that is going to be a second quick whistle on Max Alexander. It'll put Adam Elliott at the line. He has not scored tonight. He had 7 points on Tuesday in the win over Pratt. Crusader basketball brought to you by the Bruce Isaacson Agency, by Idea Tech, Apple Lane Animal Hospital, by Phoenix Restoration, and by the Buhler Booster Club. Here's Sam Elliott at the free throw line, and the first to make that Adam Elliott.
I was going to say.
Sam Elliott goes to the other school.
Our school.
Adam Elliott makes the first. They kind of have similar hair, though.
They do.
Different colors.
I don't like the comparison. How about that?
28-26, two-point game. Here comes Max Alexander inside. Reed Scott, big shot, missed.
Oh, Reed just got stepped on in the face. Holy cow, that hurt.
Oh, man.
Madron's foot just came right down on Reed's face.
And they're going to call a foul on Adam Elliott.
Wow, because Reed got knocked to the deck. He was laying on the ground, and one of the most dangerous places in sports is to be on the ground, and
under the bucket.
I saw the foot come right down on his face. Holy cow. Reed showing some toughness shooting these free throws right here.
Well, you won't find a tougher guy than Reed Scott.
Wow.
First free throw good. You know, early in the year, I asked Coach Bryant, how are we going to be this year, Coach? And he said, we'll be all right if we can grow some toughness. There it is.
Yeah. He is still wincing in pain, but that's what senior leaders do.
Hayden Keller in. Taden Hawkinson goes out here at the 4:48 mark in the third. And Reed Scott's second free throw. He got them both.
And he now has his career high.
12 points tonight for Reed Scott. 30-26. Buhler by 4. And Reeder will come out, replaced by Braden Scripson. 4:46 left here in the third. Mac's last lead was 9-7.
Let's keep it that way.
That was about 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. You guys noticed how Mac has slowed down the game here in the third quarter?
Oh, they want this thing to be glacial.
Here's Miller inside, and they're going to get a...
Scrippy, they're going to say shoved Miller in the back. Mason Miller is working back to the basket down low. Skripsic was playing defense down there. And
that'll be the first on Skripsic. Third team foul here in the second half. Jayden Dukes to play it into Elliott. Elliott lost the ball out of bounds. Good defense by Jack Vogt.
Just
good grief. They get it into Max, who is almost shoved by Pyle. Layup missed by Hernandez. Rebound McPherson. Outlet Jayden Alexander. Jayden through Skripsic. No way. Skripsic was growing roots in the lane, and they called a blocking foul.
So Skripsic with quick fouls here.
That is not a good call. It's going to put Jayden Alexander at the line. You know, there are some that are questionable. Alexander misses the first free throw, but he was in there for a long time. Eli Pyle out, Hunter Alvord in for McPherson. 30-26 Buhler, 4:09 to play here in the quarter. Alexander's second free throw is good. He's now 3 of 4, 30-27. And so the lead is 3. Max across the timeline. He'll be picked up by Jayton Alexander. Here by a triple. Inside Jack, missed the shot. Rebound Seth Madrid. Outlet to Jayton Alexander. 3:47 to go in the quarter. Jayton off to Miller, and they're going to call a foul on what should have been a travel.
Tough turn of events for the Crusaders.
That was 3 steps and then some. And they're going to put Mason Miller at the free throw line, and they call a foul on Hayden Keller.
5th team foul on Buhler. 2 on Mack here in this third quarter.
And Miller makes the first free throw. Reed Scott returns. Jack both out for Buhler. Hayden Hawkinson will replace Hayden Keller. That was worse than Zvi Mikhailuk.
Hey! I'm just glad it's Aaron talking about that for a change.
It doesn't matter. The shot counted. The game's over. And Miller makes 2 free throws. 30-29.
All right, we need a bucket here, gentlemen.
Buhler with just 5 points here in the third quarter. The slowdown for Mack has worked. There's Max Alexander, a long 3, missed. That's not the shot you wanted. Rebound Mack. Mack looking for its first lead since the first quarter. Adam Elliott can give it to him. 3 is good.
That ball bounced around all over the place before it finally fell through the cylinder, and that gets the Mack faithful on their feet.
3:12 to go in the third. Mack has scored 14 here in the third, and now a foul on Mack inside against Reed Scott.
I believe it'll be on Mason Miller. So that'll be Miller's second.
A 14-5 advantage for McPherson here in the third quarter. Mason Miller picks up his second. Here's Reed at the line. Free throw short.
Jack Both will check back in for Skripsik here.
Both in, Skripsik out. You ever met a coach that could yell louder than Coach Kittelman?
His brother that was at St. John, they could have a contest. That would be fun.
You know, in this kind of atmosphere, a lot of times it's hard to hear the coaches. It is not hard to hear Coach Kittelman.
You definitely know his opinion.
32-31. Mack by 1 with the ball as Reed Scott goes 1 of 2 at the line. That was the third team foul and a half on Mack. Here is Elliott into Miller. Pull up in the lane. Boy, all of a sudden Mason Miller is like, come alive. 34-31. Lead is 3. That is Mack's largest lead tonight. 2:42 to play. Max at the left elbow. Missed. Rebound Mack. Boy, this has been a bad third quarter. Just 6 points in the quarter. And Mack with the lead and 2:29 to play. 34-31. Elliott has it right side circle. Here's side to Madron. Out front to Alexander. Three, Jayton Alexander. It's good.
Well, you want to talk about a quarter where everything's going the way of the Bullpup. It's been this quarter, so Crusaders have just got to settle down and get a shot to fall here. Hopefully maybe attack the rim here this possession.
37-31, HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network. Well, going back to the 3 made by Jayton Alexander to end the second.
Change for Buhler this quarter. We've been firing a lot of jump shots, not taking it all the way to the rim like we did in the first half, so hopefully.
Oh, we've gotten very stagnant on offense.
Hopefully can work a little better here, get a good shot look.
Forcing a bad shot never helps your cause. Now Buhler needs a bucket.
Big possession here, fellas.
They have just one bucket, that by Max Alexander in the third quarter. Here's Max with it, right side circle. Down by 6. Max inside. Up top, Hawkinson. He'll shoot the 3 ball. It's good. Boy, they needed that, didn't they?
Yeah, Taden's first bucket of the night, a monster.
37-34. Lead down to 3. Stops a Max 6-0 run. Now Hawkinson with a near steal off to Elliott. He'll rifle it into the corner. Off to Jayton Alexander in the lane.
Wow,
Travel.
there we go, there we go, there we go.
Thank you, Mr. Official.
Yeah, Jayton Alexander just was kind of out of control and ran into his own teammate, Mason Miller, and bounced off him and walks with the basketball. So now, fellas, Buhler with a golden opportunity to try to cut back into this McPherson lead.
Down by 3, 37-34. Adam Elliott out. Jaden Dukes in for McPherson. Just 2 third-quarter field goals for Buhler. They were up 10 near the end of the second quarter. Here is Zay Hernandez off to Taden Hawkinson. Taden has it out front and a steal. Layup good by Madron.
Yeah, Madron did not score in the first half. He's got 6 points this quarter alone.
39-34. Boy, how turnovers have hurt
Yeah, we only
in
had
this third.
3 turnovers in the first half, 4 this quarter alone. Oh,
And there's a 4th. A 5th in the quarter now, my goodness. Hawkinson out, Keller in, 43 seconds to go in a miserable third quarter. Back by 5, 39-34.
well, the good news, this quarter's
Almost over.
almost done.
Thank goodness.
Got to go to the corner, lick your wounds, and get ready for that last round.
There's a foul on Max, and that'll be his 3rd.
And all 3 of Max's fouls have been here in this third quarter.
He'll come out, replaced by Grant Ricker.
Yeah, coach has got to avoid Max getting that 4th foul. And
Jaden Alexander to play it in.
so now if you're Buhler, just want to play some good defense here, force Mac to take a guarded shot. If they shoot the ball early, try to get another possession here.
There's Adam Elliott off to Jaden Dukes. Back out high to Elliott. Jayton Alexander. 6 third-quarter points from Seth Madron. And what do we got? A 5 count on McPherson.
As well as the travel, so now Max and Hawkinson will return to try to gin up some offense here down the home stretch.
Keller and Ricker will go out. Buhler with 13.9 on the clock and down by 5. Abilene leading Concordia after 3, 30-23. There's Max with a 3, 6. Oh my gosh.
Tough look for the Crusaders there. So Hawkinson and Alexander will check out as Ricker and Keller will come back in to close out the quarter defensively.
4.4 on the clock. And Max going to try and get it up the floor in a hurry. Up by 5. Well, that 3 wasn't even close. Here comes Madron to Alexander. 3 at the buzzer missed. And that'll get us to the end of the third. McPherson leading by 5. 39-34. Buhler manages just 9 points in the quarter. Final 8 minutes coming up tonight from Jim Baker on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network. back here inside Jim Baker Fieldhouse, part of our Next Tech Wireless Road to the Championship, presented by Rise Up Reno. We got Mr. Shank. Haven beat Lions tonight. South Haven over Central Christian.
Yep, had an overtime game down in Norwich. St. John advancing over Pretty Prairie 61-58. And then in 2A girls sub-state semifinal action, Hillsborough defeating Sedgwick 58-34 up at Brookville.
That Hillsborough team's for real.
Yeah, both Hillsborough boys and girls, an excellent chance to go to state. Our
Buhler Dental Care scoreboard. Buhler here with the ball to start the final 8 minutes, down by 5. Taden Hawkinson knocks
their order for Buhler. Put that third quarter in the rearview mirror.
The kick out to Elliott, and he answers with a 3. 42-37. Here's Reed Scott to Hawkinson. Another 3 missed. Rebound tapped in the air, taken by Mack.
Seth Madron has been all over the glass. That's his 8th board tonight.
Here's Jayton Alexander. Off to Madron. Buhler down by 5. Madron in the lane, up top to Elliott. Near side Madron driving on Jack with a right, missed. Rebound Reed Scott. Ahead to Zay, off.
Yeah, there was some space in front of Jack. Tried to take it in, but decided to fire the 3. But no, Reed. It's a Mason Miller perfect from the line tonight.
6:40 left in the game. Crusader basketball brought to you by Cargill Salt, by Countryside Feed, Rod's Tire and Service by Yoder Meat, and by Crable Tree Clearing. Miller makes the first at the line. What has been a tough shooting second half for Buhler. And 2 more free throws to make it a 7-point game.
And now Darian Gibbs will check in for the first time here in the fourth quarter as Mason Miller will check out.
Mack by 7, Buhler led by 7 at halftime. A 14-point swing here in the second half. 1996, the last time Buhler beat McPherson in Buhler. Here's Max. Inside, got it, and a foul. I'll tell you this, fellas. We're at the point in the game where it's up to Max Alexander whether he wants to see his season continue or not.
And he is a competitor, and this senior class does not want to have their year in tonight, so they are leaving it on the line tonight. But you mentioned 1996, Jack Bothstad, senior here at Buhler that year.
Max for the 3-point play makes it. I mean, and I don't mean to put all the pressure on Max, but there's just that time in the game when your leader's got to step up and say, we're not losing this one.
Yep.
Time out on the floor.
Oh, sorry, Aaron.
I was just going to say 44-40. Hold that thought. We'll take a quick timeout. Back up to this on HKFM at the Crusader Sports Network. You had a really brilliant thought before the break.
Well, what I was about to say, and sorry. I tell you, the beautiful thing for Buhler, Mack had that big run in the third quarter. It was not a pretty third quarter, but Buhler still just down 2 shots, still plenty of time.
Lots of time.
Lots and lots and lots of time.
Got to get some stops. Here's Jayton Alexander across the timeline. Boy, Zay's got to be careful. Here, reach in there. They've called it tighter in the second half.
Yeah, the first half was kind of the wild, wild west.
Madron inside, bodied up against both, and they're going to call the blocking foul on Jack. And that'll put Seth Madron at the line for the first time tonight. He had 6 points in the third quarter. He did not score in the first half tonight. Jaden Dukes returns for McPherson. And Adam Elliott out. So Madron at the line to extend a 4-point lead. And the free throw is short. Rebound Jack Both. The coach not happy with that foul call.
And he conveyed it, the official nodding his head in agreement.
Here's Max with it. Alexander, boy, Jayton fell down. Max into the lane, flash. No, yes, it's good, and it's a 2-point game.
Well, that's the kind of play that gives you a little go-go juice. As man, he put his cousin on the deck with a move and finishes at the rim.
A move by Max, near steal, and an over and back on McPherson.
And Mac with their 6th turnover of the night. Coach Kinnaman well outside of his box. But man, it is a golden opportunity here for the Crusaders to try to tie or take the lead right here.
That reminds me of, remember back at the SIT against Andover? Get in your box, coach. Get back in your box. Buhler could tie or take the lead with a 3 here. Max with 2 huge buckets, 5:30 to play. Crusaders on a 5-0 run, and now a near steal and a tie-up in the arrow to McPherson. Well, Max made a great play last time down the floor on his cousin. Jayton answered back.
Yes, he did. And just that game within a game of the family feud there.
44-42, Mac by 2. They'll have the ball after Buhler's 9th turnover tonight. I have both teams with 9 turnovers apiece. Mac took their first lead of the second half at the 3:12 mark in the third. They've led by at least 2 ever since. 44-42, Jayton Alexander into Miller. Miller, ball knocked loose and a steal.
Great job that time by Max Alexander with the quick hands.
Here's Alexander in front court. Pull up at the free throw line. Yes!
And we're tied up at 44 apiece. What a play made by Jack Voth as that pass got lobbed out to Max. He caught it at half court and fired the shot from the free throw line.
Oh, goodness. A 3 the other way by Hunter Albert is good.
Well, this game has got momentum swings like you wouldn't believe.
Here's Max at the elbow. Good.
Well, Max is in one of those rhythm modes right now, fellas, where everything he touched turns to gold.
47-46. Get him the ball. 4:26 to go in the game. They've got to get some defensive stops. Here's Madron, shot good. They're just not getting enough defensive stops.
And Buhler's not playing lazy defense, but the rims at the south end have been very kind to Mac in the second half.
49-46, Mac by 3. Here's Max against Madron. And he lost the ball, dribbled it off his leg.
And Max was lobbying that it went off of Madron. Now Reed Scott getting his teammate back into defensive mode.
3:57 left.
And Max is in some psychological, he's getting flustered. He's got to just calm down. He picked up his 4th foul right there.
And that puts Albert at the line for 1-on-1, but you just can't make that play. And Max comes out, replaced by Hayden Keller.
These kids playing with a lot of passion and heart tonight.
So here's Hunter Albert at the line with a pair of trays. In the game, first trip to the stripe. And first free throw good, and that makes it a 4-point game.
Chance to stretch it back out to 5.
Mac with just 4 fouls in the second half. Buhler, the previous 2 games, dominated the free throw line. 1 of 2 at the free throw line. Rebound, Reed Scott ahead to Zay. No way! And they're going to call a foul on Zay, who had the ball and got run into.
And the official here on the near side's going, wow. That is a call. Holy cow.
That is one of the worst I've ever seen. Wow.
Oh.
Zay got trucked.
And he got
and they call him for the foul.
Wow. Wow.
What a terrible call.
Let's see if the Crusaders can get the makeup call here. Wow.
50-46, 3:44 left. Here's Madron on a drive. Missed the shot. Rebound Miller. And they're calling. Oh my gosh.
So Reed Scott will pick up his 3rd. And Mason Miller will go to the line to shoot 2.
Mason Miller has been 4 of 4 tonight. Well, I tell you what, his 8 points are huge.
Yes.
He had 4 points combined in the previous 2 games. Missed the first one here, short. Max Alexander in. Hayden Keller out of Max has got to remember he has 4 fouls.
Yeah. He has got to stay in the game offensively. He can be lazy on offense or defense. He's just got to stay in. But yeah, the foul situation, Buhler in the double bonus, Mack, which is 4 fouls.
And Miller makes 1 of 2. 51-46.
Lead back at a nickel for Mack.
Lead is 5. Buhler has not scored in over a minute. Here's Max.
Gibbs
and a
riding
reaching
him like
foul on Gibbs.
Yeah, Gibbs is riding him like a government mule out there, so good to see him get called for the foul.
Well, Max has got to make 2 at the line now. No, actually, that's just the fifth team foul, so it'll be an inbounds play. Well, Mack had 51 to win it in the January meeting in McPherson. 51-46 here. Reed Scott out front. Far side to Zay Hernandez. Guarded by Eli Pyle. Off to Scott. Down low to Jack. Jack inside. Going to work against Jayton Alexander. Kicks it to the corner to Zay for 3. It's good!
Huge 3 for Isaiah Hernandez. Gets it back to a 2-point game, 51-49.
2:55 to go. Zay's second triple of the night. He's got 6. Here's Dukes at the elbow. Oh, where's the 5 count?
There we go.
It is. No, they're going to give Mack a timeout. Timeout McPherson. 2:42 left. And McPherson by 2. Well, we'll have a host of sub-state finals coming up on the Ad Astra Sports Network tomorrow. Sub-state final here in 4A from Jim Baker tonight, part of our Next Tech Wireless Road to a Championship. By Rise Up Reno, a near steal. Ball goes out of bounds. They're going to call it off Max Alexander. McPherson with the ball, 2:29 left, 51-49. McPherson has led most of the second half after being down 7 at halftime.
Yeah, the third quarter got Mack the lead, but Buhler's kind of ground back into this thing and thankfully just down a bucket.
Here's Madron with it over right side circle. He'll drive off to Jayton now and make that Adam Elliott.
Oh,
no way.
snap.
No way. And that is the 5th foul on Max Alexander, and he's gone. I don't know what Elliott tripped on his.
Wow.
Well, if they're going to win it, they will not do it with Max Alexander in the game. Elliott at the free throw line.
And Max with all 5 of those fouls in the second half.
Elliott's first free throw is good.
And off the ball a little bit, had his feet set near the 3-point line, and Elliott just made some contact as he went by, and Max didn't even really move his feet. He had him set, and they got the 5th foul to foul him out.
One more at the line for Elliott. And he missed it. Rebound out of bounds off McPherson. 52-49.
Well, in the game of basketball, when one of your leaders goes out, other people have to rise to the occasion.
Next man up.
Yep.
Max finishes with 14 points. Zay Hernandez across the timeline, blinding undefeated into the big fella. Caden Hawkinson out front with it. Off to Reed Scott. Buhler down 3. Here's Tatum, left corner. Wrap around pass to Keller. Zay. Jack Voth for 3. Missed. Rebound Gibbs.
Rats. If that one would have dropped, the roof would have come off this place.
And Mac can really run clock now. Buehler's, Mac's going to call a timeout. Minute 34 left. I mean, pretty much at this point, if I'm Coach Kinnaman, and this is me talking, I'm a shot clock guy, but I'm going to use the last 94 seconds unless you foul me.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do here. Buhler, the good news, still just down a shot. Got to get a stop. Maybe try to force a turnover. Hit the glass hard. And then when we get down at our end, you can tell, Jack took that shot in the corner, but a lot of the other guys kind of tentative on being the one to take the shot right now. Is when your season leading scorer goes out, other guys have to come rise to the occasion. But it's going to start here, this victory. If Buhler can pull it out, it's got to start on the defensive end right here.
Coverage tonight brought to you in part by Ediger Family Dental, by Sheila Metzger Agency, by Huntrek, Adams Brown Strategic Allies and CPAs, and by Midway Motors. Congratulations to our Sterling College Lady Warriors, undefeated regular season, KCAC champions. And they will be seeded number 1 in the NAIA opening round tournament at Park City next week. And they will play against the winner of Mid-America Christian and Columbia of Missouri on Saturday at 8 o'clock at Hartman or Rife. Here's Zay off to Jack. Both stuck. And a timeout by Coach Swanson. So Zay got to get rid of the ball. 1:15 left. Buhler down 3 here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network. 52-49. Well, the winning streak at McPherson in this series at 31 games, and it's going to take a big shot here out of this timeout for Buhler to potentially tie. I still, at some point, want to get the ball into my big fella.
Yeah, don't necessarily have to shoot the 3 yet. 75 seconds remaining. And one would be a great thing for Buhler.
Hawkinson into Hernandez.
Bump Jack out of bounds. That's his 3rd personal, just the 6th team foul on Mac. The good news is when they foul us next, we'll finally start shooting some free throws.
One more would put Buhler in the bonus. Hawkinson again to play it in. Again, Max Alexander is fouled out of the game. Here's Jack Voth to Tatum in the corner for 3. Too strong. But Reed throws it off. Mason Miller out of bounds. It'll be Buhler ball.
What effort by Reed Scott there along the baseline. He got tied up with Mason Miller. Wasn't going to be able to get possession, and he just spiked it off of Mason Miller, and it'll stay Crusader basketball.
Mason Miller he had his back turned. He didn't even know what happened. And another timeout for the Crusaders. Well, we mentioned lots of action coming up tomorrow. Basketball tonight on the Ad Astra Sports Network, part of our Next Tech Wireless Road to a Championship. Presented by Rise Up Reno. We'll have some state finals tomorrow from 3A in Heston, 2A at El Saline, 2A out at Spearville, 1A action from Canton Galva, Norwich, and Attica, all coming up tomorrow. Sub-state finals with a chance to go to the state tournament. A different format this year. The quarterfinal games will be at the higher seed on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, so there's going to be some interesting situations where some of these teams haven't been at home all during sub-state week, and they'll get to play at home to begin the state tournament.
The girls' side of this sub-state will be decided tomorrow afternoon between McPherson and Nickerson. That game will be in Nickerson at 3 o'clock. Here's Reed Scott out front with it to the timeout. Jack Voth, JV driving inside against Miller. Missed
no call.
it.
Wow.
Rebound out of bounds. No, taken by McPherson.
Jack got banged on all day long inside. No call.
Here's Jaden Dukes off to Alvord. And Mac's going to play keep away now here.
Now Jayton Alexander with the chance to make it a two-shot game.
Well, it's a tough. I'm not a very smart guy. I told you coming in if we got to 60, that was the number.
Well, you talked too about how McPherson was going to want this to be a lower scoring game. That's what Coach Kinnaman's gotten.
Alexander makes it a 4-point game at the free throw line. Boy, free throws have been the key for Mac in the second half. They have dominated at the stripe tonight. It's been very one-sided in the second half.
Yeah, you think about it in the first half, Jack Voth got to the line over and over and over again. Has not happened here in the second half now.
Both good for Alexander, 54-49. Buhler's got a score here, down by 3, missed by Jack Voth. Out of bounds, they call it off McPherson.
Yeah, Coach Swanson wanted the foul because there's some contact on Jack as he let go of the ball. No call.
Buhler hasn't gotten the foul calls here in the second half.
No.
Now the officials
having a little powwow.
Talking things over. They're going to keep the ball with Buhler. Abilene beats Concordia tonight, 38-34. So the winner of this game will get Abilene on Monday night. If Buhler wins, it'll be here in Jim Baker. And there's a foul in the inbound on McPherson. That a makeup call?
Yes, yes, yes. So now that foul is on Madron. That's his 4th. So if this game would happen to go to overtime, that could be a pretty important development.
It'll be Jack Voth at the free throw line. If Buhler wins, it'll be Abilene. If Buhler and Mac wins, the game will be at Abilene.
Jack Voth at the line. Chance to get this back within a one-shot game.
54-49, 28 seconds left. Free throw good. That is just Buhler's second free throw shot in the fourth quarter.
And this is the big one here.
Second on the way, got it. Skripczyk and Ricker in, 54-51.
There's still hope in Mudville, gentlemen.
Buhler needs a steal with 28 seconds to go, down 3.
Full court pressure being thrown by Coach Swanson.
Madron gets it into Alexander. He's not the guy who, they're going to foul him quickly. Not take any time off the clock here.
Yeah, you can't put time back on, so I like the decision to foul quickly. Because Mac, like you mentioned, they are going to just try to play keep away.
I tell you another thing, we talk about Mac's defense. So good at the psychological game. First for Alexander, rattles in. Well, you look at the comparison, that is Mac's 10th free throw shot in the fourth. Buhler has only shot 3.
And in a 4-point game, extra free throw attempts makes a big difference.
Well, it's going to take a Herculean effort now. Alexander, 1 of 2. Rebound Buhler, 55-51. It's a 4-point game. Hawkinson for 3. Yes! It's not over yet.
Is away.
They cannot salt it away.
They cannot finish us off at the free throw line, and so.
What a huge triple by Taden Hawkinson.
Well, Hawkinson, you think about every one of his threes have been pretty important. There at one point earlier in the game when things weren't really going Buhler's way, he made that big three in the corner, but good to see him stepping up with those outside shots. With Max being out, you know, the scoring situation changes significantly for Buhler, but now McPherson's got to go 90 feet, but I have a feeling they're going to be fouled before that can happen. But
yeah, I would.
So right now, I would tell you, the guy that I would be fouling, and no offense to, and that's what they're doing. Okay, I was going to say I would foul Elliott 6 ways from Sunday, but they have got him as the inbounder to prevent you from doing that.
Yeah, I think the sooner you foul, if you don't get the steal on the inbound, don't let any time get off the clock.
You foul right away, and that's why Ricker's out there on the floor as well as Scrippy.
And they're going to let Elliott inbound unopposed. They're going to put 5 on 4 here. Taden Hawkinson is the floater. They'll get it into Jayden Alexander, and then they'll foul Elliott as 2 seconds comes off the clock. Adam Elliott is 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight. Well, now see what Elliott does here. It depends on whether Buhler needs a 3 or not. First free throw back in. So if Elliott hits the second, Buhler needs them both. Elliott comes out, Duke's in, 57-54. Well, you've got 4 guys that can knock down that shot on the floor. Here comes Isaiah Hernandez. Across the timeline, he'll drive. Zay in the corner to Keller to tie it. Oh, it hit the backboard, rebound continues. 57-50. Mack wins it. Mack will move on at 11-11, and they will go.
Unfortunately, I've seen this movie before.
When is that going to stop happening?
Each and every single one of them played their guts out to end like that.
If you cut me open, I bleed maroon. Second half. I think a lot of it was the free throw line for their game. And just all of the banging and the pushing and everything that they do, it's not on accident. It's all calculated.
No.
And that's the sign of one whale of a coach.
Yeah,
holy
shows the respect that the rest of the coaches have for this program, and they find a way to win. But no, the physicality, it really kind of got to the Crusaders down the home stretch. But I'm going to say it again. Our kids played their guts out, played to the end, and still proud to call each and every single one of them a Crusader.
Our seniors, Max Alexander, Reed Scott, Taden Hawkinson, Braden Skripczyk had a great season. A lot of question marks going into next year as far as which group out of that sophomore group is going to step up and kind of take over some. They're going to have to fill some big shoes.
Yeah, I mean, because this senior class, there's a lot of guys that are going to be sorely missed next year for the Maroon and White.
Well, we'll take a gander at ye old final numbers here. Our final broadcast of the year together, brought to you by Adams Brown Strategic Allies and CPAs, proudly serving businesses in Kansas for the past 70 years. Online at adamsbrowncpa.com. Mac led 3 different times by 2 in the first quarter. Buhler was up 3 after 1, and they stretched that to 10 in the second quarter. 25-19. A Jayden Alexander 3 made it a 7-point game at halftime, and then Mac outscores Buhler 21-9 in the third. And did I mention I'm not a very smart guy?
Just a few
really
times.
Not.
Just a few times.
But you watch enough of this, the 9 points, the single-digit quarter, and I give Mac all the credit, and the adjustments they made. They took Buhler out of their game in that third quarter.
Yeah, Buhler had to settle for some guarded jump shots. Kind of got away from taking it to the rim, and the foul situation too in that second half. That really had a lot to do with kind of some of the frustration of Buhler, as Mac was able to get Buhler in some foul trouble. And when I just look at my foul chart, I mean, how many fouls Buhler had in the second half compared to the first? Pretty incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Mac certainly did it at the free throw line in the second half. The lead was 5 at the end of the third for Mac. Mac took their first second half lead with 2:42 to go in the third. They would not trail again. Buhler actually tied it 44 all midway through the fourth, but then Mac answered right back, really down the stretch. Nails at the free throw line. A completely different called game in the second half than it was in the first half.
I mean, a stat that I'm just pulling up here right now, Buhler with 14 fouls in the second half, McPherson with just 7. And they didn't get that 7th foul until way late, when it was kind of really dire straits for the Crusaders.
Something else that hurt them, we've talked all year about how good they are at the free throw line. They go just 13 of 20 tonight. That's 65%, and that is almost 20 percentage points off their average.
Yeah, that definitely hurt Buhler, and just in the second half didn't get to the free throw line many times. I don't know if you have it broken down by the halves, but it seemed like we just didn't get to the line as much in that second half.
And some of that, I thought Mac took Jack Voth out of the game.
Yeah, they did. In the second half, it was really hard for Jack to try to get to the rim, and there's a reason why Coach Kinnaman has been the head coach of McPherson for all the years he has. He knows a little bit about the game, and really defensively gave the Crusaders fits in that third quarter. The thing that I'm really proud about our guys, though, Carson, we had kind of those struggles in the third quarter, but then in the fourth, kind of started finding the rhythm, working the basketball a little better.
Yeah, for sure. Playing from behind against Mac seems to be something that Crusaders kind of feel comfortable in. I don't know if that's probably not the right word, but we mentioned it last game at the Roundhouse, and tonight Crusaders are down by a ton of points, double digits, and they look like they're defeated, and all of a sudden they start biting back and making shots. And this whole game takes me back to 2 things: turnovers and free throws. At the beginning of the fourth quarter and really the end of the second quarter, you look at that and you let Jayden Alexander bank in a three-pointer as time expires. You have 2 seconds left and you just say, oh, we're okay with that. We're not going to try to get anything else, and leave the ball bouncing as time expired. And then you start the second half with 3 turnovers. You wish you could have those back, but what's done is done, and now those guys are going to start working toward next year. And you lose a lot of talent, but there's still a lot of talent. We got Ricker and Keller, and it'll be great to see what Voth and Hernandez will do next year.
The rest of the final numbers: Mac 17 of 40 from the field, 6 of 15 from beyond the arc, 17 of 23 at the foul line. Buhler goes 17 of 40 from the field, so dead even in the number of shots made in the game. Mac makes 5 more free throws in the game. And that's the difference, fellas.
And in a 3-point game, 5 more makes it the free throw line. Difference there. But
that is the difference tonight in the game. Wow. but yet they find a way to extend the streak to 32. Individually, Eli Pyle with 6 for McPherson. Hunter Alvord with 7. Seth Madron with 8. Adam Elliott with 11. Jayden Alexander with 16. Mason Miller with 9. Here, well, you look at these numbers.
Individual finals, team finals.
Good job, Jackson. Thanks to Jack Conklin for statting for us tonight. We need all the help we can get. You look at this. Alvord had 3 at halftime. He finishes with 7. Madron didn't score in the first half. 8 in the second half. Elliott doesn't score in the first half. 11 in the second half. Miller has 2 in the first half. Finishes with 9. So, again, I go back to the adjustments. And, wow.
Yeah, it was definitely, and it really, the quarter that swung, you know, Buhler won the first half. Mac won the third quarter. And McPherson was barely able to win that fourth quarter.
Jack Voth and Max Alexander lead Buhler each with 14 tonight. Reed Scott, how can you not love Reed Scott? 13 points. He was a beast tonight. He got his face stepped on and he got up and hit 2 free throws.
No, that was something I'll remember forever. Just incredible toughness shown by him. And, yeah, you know, these seniors, I mean, this is kind of the time you just reflect on each of these seniors. They just played their final high school basketball game, and for some of them, their final basketball game of their lives. And, yeah, these guys, they left it on the floor tonight.
9 for Taden Hawkinson and 6 for Isaiah Hernandez. Final 57-54. Again, our seniors, Max Alexander, Tegan Tustin. Want to make sure and talk about Tegan. Was a great team guy and just a really terrific kid. Reed Scott, Taden Hawkinson, and Braden Scripsey. Our play and player of the game will have final thoughts after this on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
What a steal. That is just what the free throw attempts make.
3, 4. Now you can foul.
Can't salt it away.
They cannot salt it away.
They cannot finish this up. Can't salt it away.
2. Rebound Buhler.
Both teams played well, and there were some flaws. Yeah, you know, in the locker room, there was. Yeah, man.
Yes. Well, him making both those free throws.
All right, back here at Jim Baker Fieldhouse, Aaron West, Chris Schenk, Carson Moeller. Thanks to Colton Hines and Team Money on camera tonight, and to our whole Crusader Sports Network crew. You know, Coach Torg came to us at the beginning of football and said, hey, I have this idea. And we said, hey, we have some ideas. And we put this whole thing together, and it's been fantastic. And you guys are awesome. We really do appreciate you. So, and I get to make fun of you during the broadcast. I mean, it all works out great. So.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it greatly, and there's there's always things we want to do to improve, and we look forward to keep improving and keep partnering with you guys.
We got
so
baseball coming up, man.
can't
Yes.
wait.
I'm excited about that.
Now, I'm waiting to see Carson playing baseball, but yet having a headset in the dugout too, right? You're gonna.
Can we mic you up?
I mean, you can try.
All right, let's get to our play of the game, our Whiffco Stilt products. Actually, we'll do that in a minute. How about our Phillip of the game? Our Dick's Phillip 66 Phillip of the game. Phillip, I saw Mr. Dick over here somewhere. Drake, yeah, he's right there in midcourt. Phillip on top tier gasoline, snacks, and more. Dick's Phillip 66. Family owned at 4th and Stevens in Hutch. Every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillip 66. Late in the game with inside 30 seconds to go. Rebound Buhler, 55-51. It's a 4-point game. Hawkinson for 3. Yes! It's not over yet. 55-54. Well, now you can foul, and they
can't salt it away.
They cannot. And that was one of 3 triples in the game for Taden Hawkinson. How many big shots did that kid hit in the last 2 games?
Yeah, I mean, he was a guy that you could just tell had some confidence when he was letting go of the ball. And tonight, when Buhler needed a big shot this evening, he delivered.
And Carson, we talked about it. They were a different team when he got hurt and he wasn't on the floor with his leadership and just kind of that loose style he plays with. And he's so vocal. And I don't know that they got this far without him. I just think he's that big of a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you look back at the game he got hurt. That first half, Crusaders were in control, and he injures it middle of the game. And then the second half, the Crusaders kind of lose all the traction they gained. And so you kind of wonder, hey, where would we have been against that team? And then going on throughout the season, and you wonder how healthy he was against maybe the Salina South team. And, he's always had knee issues, and he's always the guy who comes out, tries to get work in. And so big props to him for always wanting to lay it all out on the floor. And you saw him at the end of the game just kind of bend over, and he couldn't really believe it was over. He is a Buhler kid down to the core, and he's tired of this MAC thing. So interesting. What's going to be interesting is seeing who steps up into that leadership role. You have Reed and you have Taden are really those big primary leaders. And so next year, who's it going to be? Is it going to be a kind of quiet guy like Isaiah Hernandez? Is it going to be Jack Voth? Or is it going to be a young guy who we haven't seen a whole lot? So it'll be interesting to see what we got next year. But, man, Reed and Taden this year and their leadership been outstanding for this Crusader basketball team.
Well, I know when Hawkinson got hurt clear back in the SIT, and I know we were visiting, and you had said at one point in time you didn't know if he was going to be back the rest of the year, and I just thought about, man, that, losing one of those seniors, what it would do to just the rest of the year. And so it's been so good that he was able to come back and able to finish out, a successful senior campaign.
Well, and a little nugget about Taden Hawkinson. Baseball's his best sport. He's a really, really good pitcher. And if he was healthy, he's a really, really good defender. But basketball is his favorite sport. And that's why that one hurts so much. So.
Yeah, I mean, kids have favorites. Kids have stuff they're good at.
Doesn't mean he doesn't love baseball.
It's amazing to see how athletic some of these kids are. There's a reason that I'm sitting here and not trying to be on the floor, and so being able to watch kids like Taden and Max and Isaiah go.
Starting center.
No, I'm not. No.
Hey, on our team you are. Okay, here.
Sure.
We depend on you to get us the ball. So good stuff. All right, a player of the game. He's getting tired of me saying that, isn't he?
Just a little.
Love you, buddy. Player of the game tonight. Whiffco Steel Products player of the game, from storage tanks to steel walkways, stairways and platforms. Whiffco Steel Products, the expert in steel fabrication, online at whiffcosp.com. You guys know what I'm going to say. Reed Scott. 13 points, career high. He was awesome tonight.
Yep. Brought it in the final game of the year.
Yeah, good stuff. Reed Scott with 10. And he got his face stepped on, and he hit 2 free throws.
Yeah, and he didn't even take much time between him. Golly, Reed, such a competitor, such a good kid. If you know Reed, you know what I'm talking about. But outstanding kid, outstanding student, and man, is he a great basketball player. And basketball, you said, about talking about Tatum, just wait till baseball. And
oh, goodness.
you can say that about Reed, too. He has one more time to go after a ring, and so we got baseball season coming up, and you know he's hungry.
He's worked hard on his pitching, too.
Yes.
So that'll be good. All right, we're going to get some final thoughts. We'll let Coach get his headset on, and we'll get some final thoughts from him. Big thank you to all of our sponsors across the network who follow us each and every Tuesday and Friday. And, you know, we're always in a hurry to get it started, and we always can't believe that it's over. But thank you to each and every business and local supporter of the school and the program and our broadcasts. You guys are all very, very much appreciated. Coach, that one, anytime your season's over, it hurts. It doesn't matter how you lose or who you lose to. The last one is always going to hurt. So.
Yeah, you know, and especially when you've had as good a season as we've had, and you know, and you want to advance, obviously, and you know, at some point it comes to an end usually, and you know, it just I feel bad for him because we didn't play our best, and you know, and you know, but give McPherson credit, they played well, and I just hate it because these have been probably, you know, I've had a lot of great kids play for me and go through the program, and but this group of seniors is pretty special, and for a lot of different reasons, a lot of different ways, but you know, they're why I love doing it and why I continue to coach, and I'm gonna miss them. Just gonna miss them a bunch. They're, you know, Reed, Taden, Tegan, Braden, Max. You know, they've all had different journeys, but you know, to see how close they've become and how close our team has become, it's just it's a shame that it's over.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is, and.
Yeah, I thought that, you know, you said you didn't play your best tonight. But I thought, you know, you're up at halftime.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, you know, they don't have to play great, just duplicate what they did in the first half.
Well, and that's hard because you knew they're going to, they're you know, we just got off to such a poor start.
That third quarter really hurt.
We just got to such a poor start. And we, you know, and give McPherson credit once, you know, they made some plays and they're, you know, once they get a lead on you, they're tough. They've got, they've got good players, and you know their record's deceiving because they play like us. They play a really hard schedule. I'm guessing Abilene will win that.
They did,
which means that they'll be happy. They think because they'll, instead of coming here, McPherson will go there. I'd be shocked if McPherson doesn't beat them by double figures.
Here's the.
I really would. I mean,
Abilene.
I really do. They have not seen.
Abilene scored 38 points tonight and won.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen in our league.
Yeah, nobody's. Nobody has. If we would have played them, they wouldn't have seen anything like that in terms of the quickness of our guards. With McPherson, you know, they haven't. I guarantee you, they haven't seen an athlete like Seth. They haven't seen defensive pressure like what McPherson's going to bring to them. I would if I would be shocked if McPherson doesn't beat them double figures, and it's unfortunately it won't be us playing, but it's life, man.
What a year, Coach. COVID and everything. You miss your first 4 games of the year, and then you have to play MAC right out of the gate.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Then just, they battle through a brutal schedule, especially there in the middle part of the year.
Yeah.
And came out of that in good shape.
Oh,
you
man.
get a share of the league title.
Yeah. No, tonight stings, obviously, and but it doesn't take away from everything they've accomplished, and it certainly doesn't take away from who they are as young men. I thought I was okay in there until Max gave a little speech after the game, and basically not to repeat what he said, but just telling the guys how much he loved them and how much he appreciated them, welcoming him and letting him be a part of this, and that's kind of stuff as a coach. You just sit back and you're like, man, I love sports, I do, and
it's the relationships at the end.
It is, and Max has been through. It wasn't easy for him in a lot of ways, and I told Max, I said, the thing about it, nobody feels worse, but the thing about it is it wasn't made easy for you here, to get here, to be here in some ways, but you've persevered, and with the help of some good kids like Reed and Taden and others, and you're gonna be able to handle whatever life throws at you, man. Because as a 17-year-old, you've had to handle more than most.
Reed Scott got his face stepped on tonight and hit 2 free throws.
Yeah,
Quite a moment.
And Reed he scored a lot tonight. That was huge.
He was
for us
big.
The first half. Yeah, and he's capable. And that was so good to see him make those shots, because that was their game plan, was to play off of him. We saw it the first game, and I told the kids in the locker room that Reed is living proof that a guy who averages 4 points a game can arguably be your most valuable player a lot of times, just for all the little things he does, the toughness, the leadership he brings on and off the court, his willingness to guard the other team's big guys. He's a great kid. Taden, 4 years with him, and I feel like
nobody has a bigger heart than that
like
kid.
A son. He's just such a good kid, and always such a good vocal leader, and has turned himself into such a good player, and battled through knee injuries that most people would have just said to heck with it and quit. I didn't get Tegan in the game last night. What a tough deal for him to move. Not only move across the country, but with a new team and a style he's not used to and different things. I mean, he was just behind the 8 ball, in that sense. And by the way, coming off a torn ACL, but yet always positive. Such a good kid. I wish I had him another year. He's just a good kid, and Scrip's 6'3", and I think 6 foot of its heart.
He had some big minutes this year when other guys got in foul trouble he had to step up.
Oh, yeah. I told Braden, I said, in the locker room in front of the team, I said, Braden, if you'd have told me a year or two ago, maybe even some last year, that you'd play as much as you did for me and we'd be this good and have this good a record, I wouldn't have believed him. But, man, he's all heart, and I love Braden. He's such a good kid. I'm going to miss these guys. That's what I hate about it. I'm going to miss him, and
absolutely.
Just wish I had another week with him.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you. Thanks for letting us.
Thank you for all you guys have done.
Do and giving us your time. And thanks to Mrs. Swanson for giving up a lot of time too. So,
she's a trooper. Because even when I'm there, I'm not really there. So
looking at film.
Yeah.
Always watching film.
Trying to do. But thank you guys for everything you do.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, that is Coach Ryan Swanson. We're going to wrap it up again. Thanks to our CSN guys and Simo. Ready for baseball, my friend.
I'm ready.
That's what after a tough night like tonight, I'm just thinking, baseball is going to get me through.
Got a game in 20 days.
That's crazy. That is so crazy. Christopher, it's been a fun ride this year having you on the old wagon.
Yes, well, and I was going to say, Aaron, you said it was going to be our last broadcast of the year. I've got a proposition for all of you.
I am not going to Spearville tomorrow.
Come on. Spearville is beautiful this time of the year. They've got all the beautiful windmills to look at. We can go. We can go to the Dollar General and get some snacks.
It's tempting.
It's a beautiful place.
It is. You're
The
right.
city of windmills. They got a nice gym out there, but
Yeah.
But no, it's been fun, and you know, Carson talked about it a moment ago, just getting to work with all these young people from Buhler High School, you know, Colton and Carson and Tyler. I mean, it's been just great people, as well as Mr. Warner and Coach Torgeson's been great to work with, and really it's been an honor to get to the opportunity to get to know these guys, and I'm glad none of them are seniors, so we're going to get to work with them again hopefully next year.
Yeah, it's good to see a lot of people in the gym tonight. You know, one of my favorite parts about this is all the kids that come back and you get to catch up and the families. And I saw Drake Dick tonight, and
I saw Braden Sides earlier tonight too.
A lot of different kids in the gym. That Noah Webster standing over there. So
well, and the other thing, just talking about the gym being full. Hopefully, you know, big picture-wise, things are getting better in the world, and hopefully maybe next basketball season, everybody that wants to go to the games will have the opportunity to get to support their teams in person and not have to do it with counterfeit tickets.
All right. Well, don't forget, tune into our network tomorrow. We've got sub-state finals at, I believe, 2 and 6. Is that right?
Yes. Or no, 2 and 5, I believe.
2 and 5?
2 and 5, yes, sir. So
tomorrow, double headers on all across our network.
Yep,
so,
all over the state. I mean, games scattered from Spearville to Attica to Brookville, Heston, and all points in between.
All right, check out our schedule at adastraradio.com. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a pleasant good evening, everybody. We'll see you in 20 days in baseball. And Crusaders missed out last year, coming off that state runner-up 2 years ago. We'll see what what Coach Neal will bring. So, thanks, fellas. T-Money, Heinze, good job tonight, guys. Moeller, Shank, we'll see you down the road. That is our broadcast. Crusader basketball here on HKFM of the Crusader Sports Network.